Xavi Simons to Chelsea. Here we know. He's actually on his way to Tottenham Hotspur, the signing that we've been waiting for over a month and a half, that we've been given all the briefs from Fabrizio Romano and all the things that personal terms are agreed. He's been waiting for Chelsea. And now he's on his way to Tottenham Hotspur just like that. And I have very mixed feelings about this transfer, I'll be honest. And we're going to cover that all in this video, as well as doing our preview for the Fulham game tomorrow at 12:30. So make sure you guys lock in, make sure you watch the full video and smash a like and hit that subscribe button. Now the Xavi Simons saga, it's a weird one because I weirdly woke up in the middle of the night. I do that sometimes and I can't go back to sleep for another hour. But I just woke up at the perfect time where Fabrizio tweeted saying, "Here we go soon for Xavi Simons to Tottenham." We heard all the briefs yesterday that obviously now that Nkunku's gone to AC Milan, it should free up enough funds for Chelsea to go and get the deal done and agree a deal with RB Leipzig. But that wasn't the case, bearing in mind that was what we were told throughout the majority of this summer, saying that the only reason Chelsea haven't submitted a bid to RB Leipzig is due to the fact they want to offload Christopher Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson, which we then got sent Christopher Nkunku off to AC Milan for around, I think it was around a 35 million euro fee, which is a pretty decent deal considering he hasn't played a lot of minutes. But we were all waiting for the Xavi Simons deal, and then we heard that Tottenham had entered the race. Obviously, they need a number 10 now that James Maddison is going to be out for a very long period of time, and he's obviously their main creator, so they do need a number 10. And obviously, they heard that Xavi Simons was available. A lot of Chelsea fans, like myself, thought, you know what, I understand they've entered the race, but you know what, Xavi Simons has given his word to Chelsea. He's rejected all these other clubs, including Bayern Munich. He's had personal terms agreed for a very, very long period of time. We thought there's no way Tottenham come in and get the deal done over us. And that's exactly what they go and do. And do you know why they did it? Because they were actually the only club that put an offer in. And we haven't put an offer in. We've heard all these reports over the past couple of days of Fermin Lopez links, which at first glance I thought it was either to put pressure on RB Leipzig to lower the price, or it's just an alternative because they could see the Xavi Simons deal falling through. And that looks like what it is now. We've heard even more links today about Fermin Lopez, which I'm not going to cover in this video, but it's all over Twitter if you guys want to check it out. But basically, we are trying to convince the player that to join Chelsea and hopefully get Barca to lower their fee, because he is an attacking midfield option. He's a good one as well. Like, obviously, if you ask me, I'd rather have Xavi Simons, but that's not to turn our nose up at Fermin Lopez because he's still a quality player, and we saw that last season while he played for Barcelona. So yeah, Tottenham put the bid in and they've agreed the deal, and Xavi Simons has agreed to go to Tottenham Hotspur. And you can't really necessarily call it a hijack because, as I say, we didn't put an offer in, so there's nothing really to hijack. Simple as that. Tottenham came down. They thought, you know what? Let's give an offer to Leipzig. Let's speak to Xavi Simons, and he's agreed. He's getting his move to the Premier League, which he wanted. It's just not at Chelsea. Now, for Chelsea's sake, it is a bit frustrating because we've heard all these briefs saying that the only reason we haven't put an offer in is because we are waiting to offload certain players like Christopher Nkunku, who did leave yesterday to AC Milan, as I just touched on. And we all stayed patient. We all stayed very patient. We were thinking, you know what, Nkunku will leave eventually, and by that point we'll get the deal done. We thought there's no way the Xavi Simons deal is going to fall through, and it did. So you can understand why Chelsea fans would be frustrated on that part. And I think a lot of the main frustration from the Chelsea fan base is the fact that it is Tottenham Hotspur. If it was a club like Man City or Liverpool, or maybe even Newcastle, I don't think there would be as much outrage. But it's the fact it's Tottenham Hotspur, if you know what I mean. Me personally, I'm not too annoyed with this whole situation. I'm frustrated, but I'm not annoyed. I think there is a very key difference, because I would have loved Xavi Simons at Chelsea. I think he brings in another number 10 option now when Cole Palmer does get injured, which he is now, funnily enough. Gives us rotation, and he's quality rotation as well. And he doesn't just play in the number 10. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. Just he can't really play up front. I reckon he can play a false nine, but obviously I guess that's not his best role, so we wouldn't really have to utilise him there. But we're gonna need the squad depth going into 4 competitions this season, including the Champions League, which you got the draw for yesterday, including teams like Bayern Munich, Barcelona. I'm really looking forward to that. I've missed being in the Champions League so much, man. But as we digress, back with the Xavi Simons deal, I am frustrated with it, but I do want to stress this with the Chelsea fan base. It is not a season definer. Us missing out on Xavi Simons is not going to stop us from getting top 4, not going to stop us from competing for the title, or going out, or going to make us go out early in the competitions. It's just not. Like, it was never a necessity signing in the first place, but it was a good signing to make because we need the squad depth. Same like Garnacho, not a necessity signing, but it's still a decent signing. I know obviously Chelsea fans don't view Garnacho and Xavi Simons in the same boat. They've made that very clear all over Twitter. But Xavi Simons is now done. It's confirmed. Apparently his medical will be today, and I expect that to be announced tomorrow at the Fulham game at the Bridge. But yeah, the Xavi Simons deal, Chelsea fans, I wouldn't feel too aggrieved with it. I'd be frustrated. It's normal to be completely frustrated because we were all expecting this deal to go through. But I don't think we should like be frustrated and start like shouting at the board or whatever because it's been a very good window nevertheless. So all I can say with Xavi Simons, good luck to you at Tottenham Hotspur. I hope you flop, just because. And obviously, I don't want Tottenham doing well. That's nothing personal on you, but yeah, listen, I'm not blaming you for going to Tottenham. We didn't put an offer in, so there's nothing really you can do on that front. You were waiting patiently. You were waiting for Chelsea. You obviously you're no longer part of the Leipzig. You're no longer part of the Leipzig squad. Now that Tottenham have agreed to deal with you, you will be a Tottenham player, and you got your move to the Premier League. So on that front, I'm happy with you. I think you're a quality player, but I just hope it doesn't work out for you at Tottenham. Again, nothing personal. But as we move into Chelsea's third game of the Premier League season, Fulham at home. Now, last season we didn't have much luck. It was the only game at home I didn't actually go to, funnily enough. It was on Boxing Day. And we lost 2-1, last minute dagger. I can't remember who it was, but I remember Cole Palmer scoring that insane solo goal. Reminded me a bit of the Eden Hazard goal against West Ham in 2019. Don't know if you guys thought that as well. But yeah, we did lose to Fulham on Boxing Day, which wasn't great. That was when our kind of like downfall period started to begin, where we kind of fell out of the title race, should we say, and we slipped into the top four race. But this year, facing a Fulham team who were good, they just got a point against Manchester United, and they played well. Obviously, Manchester United, we know, are in the gutter, so it's not saying an awful lot. But they played well. They got some very good players like Smith Rowe. They got Calvin Bassey at the back, Alex Iwobi as well, who balled out against Manchester United. So it's going to be a much harder game than the West Ham game for sure. We should still have enough to get the 3 points, to get the game over the line, get the win over the line. Though I still think Cole Palmer is going to be out for this game. I think that's been confirmed. I think they expect him to be back after the international break, but they don't want to risk him getting injured any further, which I think is the right thing to do. As I say, we have depth in those areas. Not again, it would have been even more depth if we had a Xavi Simons right now, but we don't. But in the number 10, I'll get into my starting 11 shortly. But we have depth. We have people that can play in that area. And when Cole Palmer did obviously dip out in the West Ham training before the game, we were fine. We ended up winning the game 5-1 with the options we had. So we will be fine. Fulham, as I say, they are going to be a harder team. So I'm not going to expect like a 5-1 result. I'll get to my score prediction at the end of the video. But it's going to be an interesting game. A West London derby. They're only 10 minutes down the road on the district line, so it's gonna be an interesting game. And obviously, these are the games that we do need to be winning convincingly. Obviously, if you are going to be competing for the title, which I expect Chelsea to do this season, is we got unlucky against Crystal Palace with the 0-0. I wouldn't say unlucky. We didn't take our chances. We didn't do too much going forward. And Crystal Palace played brilliantly to hold out for the point. And then West Ham the other day. Obviously, we know West Ham are poor. Potter's looking at the first manager to get sacked. Or Amorim, you never know. It could be a toss-up between the two. But yeah, West Ham were poor, but we still also played brilliantly. We scored 5 goals at the London Stadium. That is a brilliant result. So I'm expecting big things from this game. It is a 12:30 kickoff, which I don't think any of us Chelsea fans are really happy about. None of us like a 12:30 kickoff. It is at home though. So hopefully that does go in our favour. I do wish I was at that game, but I couldn't get a ticket. But it will be interesting to see how Enzo Maresca does line up in this game, whether he keeps the exact same team that done the job against West Ham, or if he changes it. Because we do know Wesley Fofana is back now. He's fully fit because of he did come on in the West Ham game, so he should be fit to play. I don't believe Romeo Lavia is back. I expect him to maybe be back after the international break. So we will see, but let's get into the starting 11. In goal, I would go with Robert Sanchez. Now listen, didn't have a horrendous game against West Ham. I still think he could have done better with the goal. I still think he should have used his other hand. He tried to sort of go like this with his right arm and it didn't work out. But yeah, so on that shot I feel like he could have done better. But it wasn't just his fault for that goal. But other than that, he didn't really set a foot wrong in the West Ham game. And we know he is our number 1 keeper. Jorgensen isn't going to start in the Premier League for a long time. So yeah, Robert Sanchez in goal. Right back, I would go with Reece James. Listen, he did get his rest against West Ham. Malo Gusto did start that game and done very well, to be fair to him. But Reece James, he is our best right back, and he starts for me, obviously, and he's our captain as well. So the captain gets in the team when necessary. The 2 centre halves. Now, as I touched on, Wesley Fofana is back. He is fit. He did come on against West Ham. I wouldn't change the centre back pairings though. I think they done well against West Ham, other than the goal, and just build on that. I think Wesley Fofana, even though he's been unlucky with injuries, like most players, try to fight your way back into the team. And yeah, that should spur us on. Then we have centre-back depth. I still think we should have signed a centre-back this window, if I'm being 100% honest. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, Trevor and Tosin would be my two centre halves. Left back, arguably the best left back in the Premier League right now, Mark Cucurella. He just gets in the team for me. There's no discussions needed. If you want to rest him, you can bring on Joel Hato. If we are winning the game, cruising, you want to bring him on towards the latter stages of the second half, like we did with West Ham. He came on against West Ham and done very well, to be fair. So if you want to give Mark Cucurella a rest, then I understand it. Two in midfield. I would go with the two that both scored against West Ham the other day, Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Moises Caicedo scored on his 100th appearance for Chelsea. It's amazing. It's crazy how things work in football, man. If you guys remember Caicedo's debut, where he came on against West Ham, funnily enough, gave away a penalty and we lost that game 3-1. Now he returns to West Ham on his 100th appearance. He had the captain's armband to fill in for Reece James, so he was the vice captain for that game, and he goes and scores. It's amazing how things work out in football. And Enzo Fernandez got that goal as well. Brilliantly timed one. Obviously, brilliant assist from Willian Esteval to drive the ball into the box, get past the defender, and then Enzo Fernandez timed his run so that he can meet it at the other post and tap it in. So, brilliant from both the two midfielders. I expect them to be on their A game tomorrow. Number 10, now as I said, Cole Palmer isn't going to be fit for this game, which I think is the right thing to do, not to rush him back. So he should return after the international break for Brentford. I'd start with João Pedro in the number 10 role. Listen, he got a goal and 2 assists against West Ham the other day playing there, and it will compensate for the 2 wingers that I'm about to get onto. Right wing, I'd start with Willian Esteval again, man of the match against West Ham, and rightfully so. Like, he looked brilliant, he looked bright, and I want to see more of him. I want to see more of him in a Chelsea shirt, and I think give him a run of games, let him get used to the Premier League a bit more, see what we've seen what he's been doing already. Hopefully he can get on the score sheet against Fulham. Listen, he's playing against Robinson, who is a quality fullback. But let's see what he can do against him. It will be a proper test for both players, to be fair. And then left wing, for me, who's been probably the most informed Chelsea player for the past couple of months, including the Club World Cup. For me, Pedro Neto. What a goal against West Ham, and what a performance as well. My personal man, I know I said Esteval was man of the match against West Ham, which I fully hear. My personal man of the match was Pedro Neto. That's due to the fact that obviously he scored, and he just didn't stop running. I'm not sure if you noticed in the 90th minute, he looked knackered, but that's just because he was still running. He just didn't stop running, like working hard, trying to win the ball, and he looks like he's got a bit of physicality about him. I don't know if you noticed a couple of times he's pushing off Wan-Bissaka off the ball. He's been brilliant. The Club World Cup is my player of the tournament, and honestly, he was my man of the match against West Ham. I hope he can build up this form and he's really coming into his own in a Chelsea shirt. So I've been really impressed with him. And then up front, the man, he didn't score against West Ham, but I still think he played well to hold up the ball, lay off the ball to either Esteval or to João Pedro, or even to Pedro Neto. Liam Delap. Hopefully he can get on the score sheet tomorrow. Just keep up that good hold up play. The service you do get, hopefully he can take it, and I think he will. Like, he's that kind of striker. He's not going to get an awful lot of service in this team, but I think the service he will get, as long as he puts it away, that's his job. Score goals, that is his job. Liam Delap starts up front for me. That would be my starting 11. Now for score prediction, as I say, I don't think it's going to be a 5-1 battering like it was West Ham. I reckon we'll win the game 2-0. I think that's a fair result. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know who you would start. Thank you guys for watching.